This is Tank's Vlog for March 24, 2018, wrapping up the day in sports. The NCAA tournament is now down to 8 teams. So we are down to the Elite 8 after starting with 68 teams. It's almost all over, everyone. March Madness is almost done. Now, on Friday, we had the same regions. The Midwest and East, as opposed to Thursday night, when we had the crazy regions. Now, what we're going to have is the upset regions. We'll find out who half the Final Four is on Saturday. I mean, just look at the teams that are in the Elite 8 on that side. We got Michigan against Florida State. We got Loyola Chicago against Kansas State. Teams nobody would have ever expected to be in the Elite 8. But on Friday night, we had the teams you would expect to be there. Villanova, West Virginia hung tough as long as they could, but too much Villanova. Villanova is just too good. They broke down that Mountaineer press. They broke down Bob Huggins. 40 minutes of hell. On the way to Elite 8. We'll next play Texas Tech. Texas Tech really outclassed Purdue tonight. Now, Texas Tech might be a little bit of a surprise to be in there, but as a 3 seed, it's not that big a surprise. I mean, a lot of people picked Texas Tech to get picked off. This is a team that looked like a team that would be a good bet to have a Cinderella go knock them off, but they've made it. So we're going to have on Sunday Villanova against Texas Tech with a Final Four trip on the line. In the Midwest region, we had Kansas. Now, Kansas. You know, it's because I didn't pick them this year. If I would have picked them, they would have fallen apart. But this year, I didn't pick them. I thought they were going to choke, and now they're in the Elite 8. They made a late run, Clemson did today, but just too much. Kansas was just too much, and now they're going to be in the Elite 8. And look at this heavyweight title fight you're going to have Sunday. Kansas against Duke. Now, Duke tonight did not look good. Duke probably played their worst game of the tournament. They were sloppy. They were throwing up threes and not making threes. They stubbornly kept throwing up three-pointers. Now, if Duke plays like they did tonight, they're going to get picked off on Sunday because Kansas is not Syracuse. Syracuse played as gamely as they could, but even with Duke not giving the A effort where they didn't play their best, Duke just had too much talent. Marvin Bagley III just crushed them off the boards. So, while Saturday's regional finals are kind of toss-ups, you think about teams that shouldn't be there, teams you wouldn't think would be there, Sunday is just what you probably would have expected. So there it is, the Elite 8. It's set. NBA on Friday night. The Knicks put forth a game effort, but they lost. They lost 108-104 at Madison Square Garden to the Minnesota Timberwolves, a team in the playoff chase. Now, the Knicks are definitely, they're done. They're eliminated. But what you saw tonight is what you should see. This tanking stuff has got to go. I mean, if you lose, you lose. And Tim Hardaway Jr. had a terrific night, 39 points. But at least give an effort. Unlike the Grizzlies, losing by 61 the other night. Oof. I still can't get over that. Nets also put forth a game effort. But they came up short as Kyle Lowry got a triple-double to lead the Raptors to a 116-112 victory. It was the Pacers slipping by the Clippers, 109-104. The Clippers' playoff hopes are starting to hit the ropes. The Nuggets were 108-100 winners over the Wizards. The Cavaliers, Well, here's a team that's tanking. 120-95 winners over the Phoenix Suns. What a brutal season it was for Phoenix this year. I've never seen the Suns this bad. It was the Bucks taking out the Bulls 118-105. The Thunder beat the Heat 105-99. The Spurs needed overtime to edge the Jazz 124-120 as LaMarcus Aldridge had a big night with 45 points and 9 rebounds. The Celtics, once again, big rally. Brad Stevens, I tell you what, you want to talk Coach of the Year? We're talking Brad Stevens. As the Celtics beat the Trailblazers 105-100. Stephen Curry returned Friday night. Stephen Curry re-injured his ankle on Friday night. Warriors won the game, but they have some big issues with injuries right now. Beating the Atlanta Hawks 106-94. Devils tonight wrapped up in the NHL. Wrapped up their longest road trip of the season. 4-2. And what a 4-2 mark this was. You know, ordinarily you think a road trip. I mean, this road trip was as tough as can be. They played the top team in the NHL right now, the Predators. They played the first place Vegas Golden Knights. Beat both. They played the defending Stanley Cup champion Penguins tonight. They beat the Kings. Now, of course, they didn't beat the Ducks or the Sharks. But tonight, wrapping it up in Pittsburgh, they had a 3-1 lead, but blew it. They was tied, and they had basically had to hang on because the Penguins just threw everything at the Devils in overtime. But then it was Taylor Hall with a breakaway. Quick as a whistle. I mean, overtime was over before you knew it, and Taylor Hall, 3-point night. I mean, if this guy is not a nominee for the Hart Trophy, the NHL should be ashamed of themselves. He definitely is one of the top 3 MVP candidates this year in the NHL. It was the Montreal Canadiens beating the Sabres 3-0. The Blues beat the Canucks 4-1. The Jets needed overtime to beat the Ducks 3-2. As they set a new franchise record with 100 points. The new Winnipeg Jets, who toiled in Atlanta for about a decade and now have been in Winnipeg for about 5-6 years now. Best season they've ever had. And the Bruins, down 2-0 into the third period, scored 3 unanswered goals to beat the Dallas Stars 3-2. Tonight's 3 stars are Taylor Hall of the Devils with that big game-winning overtime goal. LaMarcus Aldridge of the Spurs. And Marvin Bagley of Duke. Today's birthday shout-out goes to Peyton Manning, who turns 42 years old. He looks like he's going to get a TV gig next year. It just depends where. ESPN, Fox. And then we take a look back to 1936 NHL playoffs. Montreal Maroons, yes, the Montreal Maroons, against the Detroit Red Wings. The game nearly went 7 overtimes. This game was 3 minutes and 30 seconds away from a 7th overtime. They played nearly 3 full games before the Red Wings won 1-0. Check out the full story at Barstool Sports and Sports Encyclopedia, where sports history lives. Good day.